The Real Story of Adolf Hitler. 1,600 words. Adolf Hitler remains one of the most infamous figures in human history, a name tied forever to war, dictatorship, and genocide. His life is a powerful reminder of how extreme ideology, manipulation, and hatred can destroy millions of lives. To understand why the world still studies him, we must look at the real story without exaggeration or praise. Only truth. Early years, 1889 to 1907. Adolf Hitler was born on April 20th, 1889 in Braunau am Inn, a small town in Austria near the German border. His father, Alois Hitler, was a strict customs official, and his mother, Clara, was gentle and caring. Young Adolf admired his mother deeply and often clashed with his father, who wanted him to have a stable government career. Hitler was not an exceptional student. He was intelligent but undisciplined, often skipping school to daydream about the future. He developed a deep interest in German nationalism, believing Germans were superior to other ethnicities. He also loved art, spending hours drawing buildings and landscapes. At the age of 16, Hitler dropped out of school and attempted to pursue his dream of becoming an artist. He moved to Vienna, a city full of opportunities, culture, and diversity. However, the Vienna Academy of Fine Arts rejected him twice, stating he lacked skill in drawing human figures. Vienna was also the place where Hitler first came into contact with strong political ideas. The city had a tense political environment, including rising anti-Semitism, nationalism, and racial theories. Hitler absorbed these dangerous ideologies rather than rejecting them. He found someone to blame for his failures: Jewish people, immigrants, and politicians. The seeds of his hatred were planted here. Homelessness and struggles, 1907 to 1913. After his mother died in 1907, Hitler's life became unstable. He lived in poverty, often staying in homeless shelters and cheap hostels. He earned money by selling painted postcards and small artwork to tourists. During this time, he developed stronger racist and nationalist beliefs, blaming many of his struggles on society rather than his own shortcomings. Still, he was not yet a leader, nor did he stand out. He was simply a frustrated young man with strong opinions, but no direction. World War I, 1914 to 1918. In 1913, Hitler moved to Munich, Germany. When World War I broke out in 1914, he volunteered for the German army. This decision became a turning point in his life. Hitler served as a messenger in the trenches of France and Belgium. The war was brutal and millions died, but Hitler viewed it as the moment where he finally belonged. He received the Iron Cross for bravery, though he was never promoted because officers felt he lacked leadership qualities. When Germany lost the war in 1918, Hitler was devastated. Like many Germans, he felt humiliated by the defeat and angered by the Treaty of Versailles, which forced Germany to pay heavy reparations and give up territory. Instead of accepting reality, Hitler embraced conspiracy theories. He believed Germany was betrayed by politicians, communists, and Jews, ideas that would later become core parts of his ideology. Entry into politics, 1919 to 1923. After the war, Germany was unstable, economically broken, politically divided, and socially frustrated. Hitler joined a tiny political group called the German Workers' Party, which focused on nationalism and anti-Semitism. Hitler quickly became its most skilled speaker, attracting crowds with emotional speeches. The group renamed itself the National Socialist German Workers' Party, Nazi Party. Hitler was not born a leader, but he discovered he had an unusual talent. He could manipulate and inspire desperate people with powerful speeches. He used anger, fear, and nationalism to grow the Nazi Party. In 1923, Hitler attempted to overthrow the government in an event known as the Beer Hall Putsch. It failed, and Hitler was arrested and sentenced to 5 years in prison. He served only 9 months, but this time shaped his future more than anything else. In prison, Hitler wrote Mein Kampf, a book outlining his extremist beliefs. Germans were a superior race. Jews were the enemy. A strong leader, a Führer, must rule. Germany needed more land. These ideas became the foundation of Nazi ideology. Rise to power, 1924 to 1933. After prison, Hitler decided to take power legally rather than through violence. Germany was suffering from economic disaster, the Great Depression, unemployment, and political chaos. Hitler used this crisis to promise hope, jobs, and national pride. Through propaganda, rallies, and intimidation by the Nazi paramilitary group SA, Hitler gained massive support. By 1932, the Nazi Party became the largest political party in Germany. On January 30, 1933, Hitler was appointed Chancellor of Germany. Many leaders thought they could control him, but they underestimated his ambition and ruthlessness. Within months, Hitler moved quickly to destroy democracy. He blamed a fire in the Parliament building, Reichstag fire, on communists and used it to take emergency powers. He banned other political parties. He arrested or killed opponents. He took control of the media, police, and military. By 1934, Hitler declared himself Führer, the absolute ruler of Germany. The dictatorship and propaganda machine. Under Hitler's rule, Germany became a totalitarian state. The government controlled every part of life. Schools taught Nazi ideology. Newspapers printed only Nazi-approved ideas. Films glorified Hitler. Children joined the Hitler Youth to learn loyalty. Secret police, Gestapo, punished anyone who disagreed. Hitler presented himself as the savior of Germany, and many people believed him. He improved the economy by building highways, increasing industry, and preparing for war. But behind the progress was a dark truth. He was building a militarized state with deadly intentions, racial policies, and the road to genocide. Hitler's hatred of Jews became official government policy. Jewish people were excluded from jobs, schools, and businesses. In 1935, the Nuremberg Laws stripped them of citizenship and basic rights. By 1938, violence escalated. During Kristallnacht, Jewish homes, shops, and synagogues were destroyed, and thousands of Jews were arrested. Hitler's goal was clear: eliminate Jews from Germany. Hitler also targeted others he considered inferior, including disabled individuals, Roma people, Slavs, and political opponents. These racist beliefs eventually led to the Holocaust, one of the greatest crimes in human history. World War II, 1939 to 1945, Hitler wanted Germany to dominate Europe. On September 1, 1939, he invaded Poland, triggering World War II. One country after another fell under German control: France, Belgium, Norway, the Netherlands, and others. Hitler believed Germany was unstoppable, but he made several major mistakes. He launched a massive invasion of the Soviet Union in 1941, underestimating its size and cold winters. He declared war on the United States, adding another powerful enemy. He ignored military advice and made decisions based on emotion and ideology. By 1943, the war turned against Germany. The Allies fought back, and the Soviet army pushed from the east. Germany faced destruction on all sides. The Holocaust. While the war continued, Hitler carried out his most horrific act: the systematic murder of 6 million Jews and millions of others. Concentration camps like Auschwitz, Treblinka, and Dachau became death factories. People were killed through gas chambers, starvation, forced labor, and brutality. The Holocaust was not a sudden event. It was the result of years of propaganda, discrimination, and hatred, fueled by Hitler's ideology. The Final Days, 1945. By April 1945, Berlin was surrounded by Soviet forces. Hitler was hiding in an underground bunker, isolated from reality. He refused to surrender, ordering German soldiers to fight until the end. Knowing defeat was inevitable, Hitler married his longtime companion, Eva Braun, and the next day, on April 30th, 1945, they both took their own lives. Germany surrendered shortly after. Legacy and lessons. Hitler's rule lasted just 12 years, but the destruction was unimaginable. Over 60 million people died in World War II. Europe was left in ruins. Millions of families were broken forever. The Holocaust became a permanent scar on humanity. Hitler's story is not just a biography, it is a warning. He rose to power by exploiting fear, anger, and economic crisis. He manipulated people through propaganda, he blamed innocent groups for problems, and he convinced a nation to follow him into darkness. Why we must remember his story. Studying Hitler's life is not about admiration. It is about understanding how dangerous hatred and dictatorship can become. His story shows how ordinary people can be manipulated, how extremist ideas can grow, how silence and fear allow evil to rise, how racism and division destroy societies. Remembering history helps ensure we never repeat it.